So just make sure this is working.
This is Michele Zaragoza, team leader, Central Valley, Manteca, Modesto, Tracy, Lodi. I think I got them all. And we have Keller Offers as our guest speaker. And we're very excited to share with you what the next value added to our toolbox as listing agents and what we can do for our customers moving forward so we can sell their house faster.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for the introduction. I'll just reintroduce myself really quickly. My name is Jennifer. I'm here from Keller Offers. We are always very excited to talk to Keller Williams agents about the tools that we have exclusively for them through Keller Offers. So the first step to get started in any of our programs is to take our free training, which we'll talk about in just a moment. So first, we did want to clarify and just make clear to everyone that Keller Offers in general, we consist of multiple programs. So we did start out in 2019 with our cash offer program. So that may be how you know the Keller Offers name. But to be clear here today, that cash offer program is not what we're talking about. That program has not launched into any California markets yet. But today we're specifically talking about our concierge program that is called Ready to Sell. And this program is available to you now, as soon as today. So through this program, certified agents can help their sellers prepare their homes for the market while avoiding upfront costs and hassle. So this new program is a concierge program all about optimizing that home's value before even bringing it to market. So let's dig in with a little bit more information about the Ready to Sell program. So our concierge type service is referred to as Ready to Sell because we allow your sellers to use it for home inspection items to get that home sold, as well as much needed cosmetic updates and cosmetic upgrades. As we all know, homes are rarely ready to put on the market as is. So sometimes it's just a little bit of extra TLC that can help the buyers visualize themselves in the home. So this program can be utilized for a coat of fresh neutral paint compared to some outdated wallpaper. It could be updated flooring that sets that house apart from the house down the street. It could just be a little bit of staging. This program is available now in your market in both the San Joaquin and, correct me if I'm not pronouncing this correctly, but
Stanislaus,
Stanislaus counties.
So
I practiced that one before I got on today. Perfect.
Okay, repeat that one more time for us.
So this is available in both San Joaquin and Stanislaus counties.
Oh, it is now. Okay, awesome.
Yes, perfect. So I did verify with our vendor list before this meeting. We do have coverage in both of these areas, and of course in the greater San Francisco, Sacramento, and San Jose areas. So this slide right here is just showing you the tip of the iceberg, just showing you a few potential work requests, items that your sellers can accomplish through this Ready to Sell program. So we can do staging. We know a lot of homes that just need that extra step of staging to help it shine on the open market. We can do flooring replacement and repair, carpet cleaning and replacement, deep cleaning. Think about how many homes could have used that power wash on the driveway, or carpet cleaning is always a huge one, as I mentioned before. We can do cosmetic renovations, including updating finishes and features, lighting fixtures, and more. We can address the exterior of the home, including landscaping, which is a big one. The next item is the number one item is recommended by all of our lab agents that participated in 2020, and that is interior and exterior painting. So that's the number one item is recommended by all of those agents that really makes the biggest difference in these homes, just a fresh coat of paint, guys. We can also do roofing repair, kitchen improvements, and of course, bathroom improvements. If you're thinking of a home right now or a project that has kind of a one-off item that you're not sure of that's not on this list and you want to double check with our team, you can send us a quick email at questions@kelleroffers.com to double check, but likely it can be covered in our Ready to Sell program. So let's talk about the value add of this program in general. So through this program, certified agents can help their sellers prepare their homes for the market while avoiding any upfront costs. To secure that no upfront cost component, we do have two different options for your sellers coming through. That way you as a certified agent can accommodate any type of seller that comes your way, no matter their situation. So in your market, you can offer a creditworthiness option or an equity-based option. So on the left, the creditworthiness option is a personal loan for your seller. So it's not tied to that property in any way. This is a 0% interest loan for 12 months. And I'll say that one more time. It is 0% interest for 12 months. There is a minimum required credit score for this option, so that has to be considered, and that is currently 660 for your notes. But as far as the loan application and approval process, it's a very quick and easy process for your seller. In most instances, they will know loan approval status within just a few minutes. Moving over to the right, the equity-based option will be great for your sellers that maybe don't quite have that 660 credit score, but say they've been in the home for years and have decent equity at this point. So the equity-based side of the program, a deed of trust would be executed to secure those funds. And we would require a minimum of 20% equity in the home as is to get these projects started. And that would be 20% after closing costs and agent commissions. Before you're scrambling to write down all this information, I did just want to let you know that we do go into detail about both of these options during your required agent training. So we want you to be 110% comfortable and confident walking into that listing appointment. And we're also providing you with detailed flyers that you can take to the listing appointment to talk about each of these options to your sellers. So on this slide here, we just wanted to show you a couple of testimonials from a couple of our ready to sell certified agents. Nancy at the top from Florida uses ready to sell in all of her marketing and listing presentations, even if that client chooses to list traditionally as is. This is yet another tool in your tool belt. This is a differentiator that you can offer in this crazy low inventory, highly competitive market. So even if you just have it in all your marketing, just saying, hey, we can look at traditional, we can look at this ready to sell program to get in the door. That is a win for us at Keller Offers. The second one is with one of our certified agents, Deborah Blue. And specifically here, Deborah is highlighting the vendors in our program, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Just to give you a brief overview on our vendors, we do have program vetted vendors that are ready in your area as of today. And we do also have a GC or general contractor on every single project for the sake of your protection, especially in California. We definitely want to avoid the agent ever even potentially seen as acting as the GC on these projects. So next, we just wanted to take you through a few success stories. So as I mentioned earlier, Keller Offers, we did run the concierge lab that ran back in 2020. So this one was with one of our San Francisco lab agents. Her name is Caroline Ho. And this was more of a luxury property. The as-is value of this home was $1.9 million. $60,000 was invested through our concierge lab program, and this was to accomplish a few different items. All of these items can be addressed through our ready to sell program as well. So they invested for flooring, paint, drywall, staging, and landscaping. That home listed and sold for $2.5 million, which is 4 days on market. So that $60,000 investment turned into a return of over $600,000. So let's take a look at one of the images of that home. So huge transformation here. We have the before on the left, after on the right. This agent was very creative with this renovation. They knew something had to be done with the fireplace situation that we're seeing on the left. Upon digging in, they found a full removal of the fireplace would have been more expensive. So instead, they decided to encase it in drywall with the after shown on the right, which ended up looking fabulous. And other things specifically in this room to point out that were addressed through our program were the flooring, the paint throughout, and of course, the staging. Next, we're going to take you through a success story of one of our ready to sell certified agents. This agent is actually doing a mastermind this week that all of you can sign up for. So I'll give you more information on that in just a moment. But this is a great story. This is an agent in Atlanta, and Deborah had actually helped this seller purchase this home over 15 years ago. So as soon as she was ready to sell certified with us, she let her SOI know in a big magazine spread that she sends out on a monthly basis. And that is exactly how Deborah and this client got back into contact. So as soon as Deborah got back in the home, she realized that the home had not been updated in over 15 years. We're about to look at some of the colors and finishes in her before and afters, but you'll see a lot of those are the darker style that was a little bit more popular about 15 years ago. So looking at initial numbers first, the as-is value of this home in Atlanta was $415,000. $49,000 was invested through our ready to sell program, and that was for a kitchen makeover. We did an installation of a wet bar in the basement. We did an exterior deck replacement, paint throughout, and more. So we'll take you through a couple of her before and afters, and then we'll talk actual numbers, how this home performed on the market. So this is actual vendor work within our Ready to Sell program. We have the before on the left, the after on the right, a huge transformation here yet again. So through our program, they color matched the appliances in the kitchen. They also replaced the backsplash and countertops, and they were able to save the seller some money by painting over those cabinets. I do want to point everyone's attention to this back door, back window area. You can see a little bit of a back deck peeking through, and that is also something that we addressed in our Ready to Sell program. So prior to tear down, the old deck had a big hole right outside of that back door. It was pretty much unusable, so the agent knew something had to be done there. So through our program, they tore down the rotted deck and rebuilt the new one, which is what you are seeing here. So after renovation was complete, the agent had a fully booked schedule, over 30 showings that first weekend, multiple offers, over ask and non-contingent cash. The home was under contract in just 2 days, $26,000 over asking price. So the actual return on investment, meaning the profit into that seller's pocket, was $61,000 on this property. So great story here. Before we move on and talk about vendors and then how you can get certified in this program, before we move on to any of your questions, I just wanted to show you a few other before and afters. This one specifically was a project here in Texas in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So this is just showing you more of the vendors' work, so you can start thinking about some of the sellers that you're already talking to, some properties that you've already looked into. So this is one of the bathrooms in one of the houses I'm about to show you. This house had a return on investment of about $48,000, and it was a smaller project mainly focusing on the bathrooms in this home. So here you can see this home had the old standard sink and countertop. They had older flooring and a bold wallpaper that might not be the taste to every buyer, right? And this is the after within our program. So here we removed the wallpaper and did a fresh coat of paint. We installed new countertops, sink and faucet, and we did new flooring as well, which you can't see as well in this picture. This is the master suite of that same bathroom. So here they had an interesting faux bamboo type design on the cabinets that we took care of. And again, some outdated wallpaper and tile throughout. This is the after of that same master bathroom, and I have the other angle on the next slide. So here you can see we changed out the knobs and handles, we updated the flooring and replaced the mirrors. This is the same angle of that same, or a different angle of the same bathroom. So here you can see the wallpaper was removed, the room was painted, and once again, this renovation added over $48,000 into that seller's pocket. So just another example of what can be done in this program. So before we change gears and talk about how you can become certified in this new tool, I did want to talk about our program vendors as another reason to utilize this Keller Offers Ready to Sell program. All of these vendors have gone through an arduous vetting process with the Keller Offers team. So they are licensed, they are bonded and insured, and we have reviewed previous jobs to ensure a high level of quality for both you and your clients. I also want to say that these vendors are committed to doing quality work on timelines that you and your sellers may have trouble coordinating yourselves. Remember, if your seller does want to do that multi-part renovation to their home, it could involve hiring and vetting multiple contractors at different times. What we're looking to do is put simplicity and expertise at their fingertips, our program vetted vendors, and you, their certified agent. As I mentioned before, we do have a GC or general contractor on every single project for your protection and to manage any subcontractors on the project. I did also want to let all of you know that you do have the ability to introduce your vendors for consideration. We know a lot of you may have great GC relationships in the market and understand that they are eligible to come through our program, and they will have to go through that same vetting process with our team. So if you do have a GC, a stager, or landscaper that you love that you'd like to bring through the program, you will be able to submit their information to us at Keller Offers upon taking your Ready to Sell training. So we'll send out a form during that training where you can submit the information, and then our team will take the vetting process from there. So I lied, we'll have one little quick addition before we move on to how you can get trained, and that's just highlighting agent marketing. So after you are certified in this new Ready to Sell program, you are getting access to our agent resources section. And in agent resources, we have all of your class documents. We have marketing materials and video content, including recordings from past masterminds. This slide right here is just showing you a few marketing pieces that you'll have at your fingertips. So we have everything from flyers to social media graphics to mailers and more, where you can sub in your contact information, your headshot and logo. As a certified agent, you also have the ability to schedule one-on-one appointments with our graphic designer in case you ever want feedback on your marketing, or if you need a little bit more hands-on help customizing our marketing materials. So we definitely help you get started in marketing, and this could be a huge, big marketing push here in Q3 to your SOI. So as I mentioned before, the first step in getting started in any Keller Offers program, so this Ready to Sell program, is to take our agent training. So in training, we go through all the information you need to know. We talk about required documentation, process, marketing to your SOI, and more. We're giving you 2 different options to get trained.
Oh, is it outside?
I
got it. I'm going to take care of it. No, I got it, Noreen.
There might be some talking. No worries. We give you 2 different options to get trained. The first option is to take one of our Zoom webinar classes. And this option is great in case you like the live class experience a little bit more. And we have a section at the end for live Q&A with the audience. Our next class is coming up on the 4th of August, in case any of you would like to write that down. That's August 4th. The second option, in case the 4th doesn't work for your schedule, or in case you'd like to get certified as soon as today, is to take that training on demand. So you can take 10 minutes today, 20 minutes tomorrow, or all in one sitting on an evening or weekend, really to your convenience. Both options can be accessed through the same link, that is app.kelleroffers.com. That's app.kelleroffers.com. If you are specifically interested in the on-demand training option, this is where you'll find it. So in your homepage, you'll just select Ready to Sell from that on-demand training dropdown. And as far as information we need from you, we're just setting expectations here. So this is the homepage you'll see when you go to app.kelleroffers.com. Likely, a lot of you have not set up accounts with us yet, so you'll just click this little button to sign up at the bottom. And information we need from you, we of course need your full name. We do need your KW email, and I just wanted to let everyone know that here. Keller Offers is exclusively for you as Keller Williams agents. So we just use this KW email to authenticate that you are in fact with KW. For your Market Center ID, this is specifically looking for your Market Center number. And I actually looked this up before the meeting today. So if you are Stockton, Lodi, or Tracy, your Market Center number is 523. And if you're Modesto or Manteca, this is 649 for your Market Center number. And then of course, whatever phone number you'd like to keep on file with us. I did want to let everyone know in today's presentation that we do have an upcoming mastermind on this Ready to Sell program on Thursday. So I'd recommend all of you attend this just in case you'd like to hear directly from a certified agent, how they've been using the program, their experience with Keller Offers, and how their SOI has reacted to the program. So this is with one of our certified agents, Deborah Blue. We had actually looked at her before and afters just a moment ago. Hers was the property with the return on investment of $61,000. So in case you'd like to attend that mastermind, it is exclusively for Keller Williams agents in our markets, but you do not have to be certified yet. So I'm going to add that mastermind link into the chat right here in case you'd like to join us and learn more information about the Ready to Sell program. But keep in mind, you can go ahead and get trained in the meantime. You don't have to wait for Thursday's mastermind. You can go directly to app.kelleroffers.com for both options. Once again, our next live class is upcoming on August 4th, and you can get started with on demand as soon as today if you'd like to. And there is absolutely no class fee. So this is a free program exclusively for you as Keller Williams agents. If you do have any questions, we'll definitely get to questions in just a moment, but you can email us anytime by emailing questions@kelleroffers.com. But I did want to go ahead and open it up to any initial questions that we had today. And I'll go ahead and pull up the chat in case anything's come through there as well.
I have a question.
Sure.
I know you said it's available in Stanislaus County and San Joaquin County, but say we get, like we do an open house in Alameda County or somewhere like that, able to do it in those counties?
Yes, I know Alameda is covered. If you have any other specific counties that you'd like me to double check on, I can definitely do that offline after the meeting. But I know that one specifically is covered. It's the whole San Francisco, San Jose, and Sacramento greater market for our launch.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What is the lag time between the request and when the work actually gets done?
Hi, Janice. It's a great question. I will say if your seller has an urgent project, we would recommend the credit worthiness option out of the two. That's typically the one that can get work started fastest. And as long as you and your seller are on top of the documents we need from you, we can typically get work started within a week and a half to 2 weeks. So a very fast turnaround time for that option.
There's quite a bit of questions in the chat.
Okay, awesome. Let me pull that up. See. So it looks like someone's asking what time the July 22nd mastermind is. Let me confirm. So that is 2 o'clock Central. So that is noon Pacific. So 12 o'clock Pacific on Thursday. Great question.
And how long is that going to be?
That one will be an hour.
Okay. And then also the education. I just got a text. How long will that be?
Yeah, so the training itself is about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on whether you take that on demand or live class. If you are taking the live class, it does go up to the 2-hour mark because we add in time for the live Q&A. So just keep that.
Question.
I have a question. Oh, go ahead.
Would we take the listing first and then we're referring them to you and then go through this whole process, right?
Yes, so we are requiring that there is an executed listing agreement with the seller and the KW agent before we get started on any of these projects.
Okay.
How long does it take a contractor to get vetted to be approved?
Typically, we can do the vetting process in as fast as 5 business days. The only hiccup there is sometimes we see the contractors not being as responsive as we'd like them to. So as long as they're on top of kind of their responses, we can do it in about 5 business days.
Do you want me to read the questions or can you see them?
Yeah, let me see. Let me scroll up to see if I missed any. I see specific counties here, so I will need to double check with my team here, but I'm writing those down. I see a great question here. What does a contractor need to do to get on the vendor list? That's a great question. And essentially how that would work is you would take our ready to sell training as the agent. And during that training, we'll send you out the form live and you can submit that contractor's information to us and we'll get started on that vetting process right away. Let's see, does fencing fall into this? Yes, we can address fencing within the program as well.
So I have a question. I mean, right now we're of course in a great seller's market. And, you know, as this transitions, if we end up going towards a buyer's market, how does this apply? And would there be different expectations, I guess, or guidelines?
Yeah, so one of the guidelines that we have in place for the protection of the agents is the length of the listing agreement itself. So we are letting agents know during training that we're requiring that listing agreement to be 6 months, at least 6 months post renovation. That way you do have enough time to market the property no matter the state of the market after renovation is complete. So you can see based off of some of our success stories that things have been flying off the shelves in less than a week once they're listed, but none of us know quite what the market could look like in a few months. So that's one of the elements that we're building in as a requirement upfront, that listing time frame in case the market does shift after reno is complete.
Okay.
Let's see. I see a great question from Antonio. What about color and design advice for the updates? So whenever you submit this request to us at Keller Offers, our vendor team is then reviewing the scope of the request and assigning a vendor to that project. That vendor is going to come to the bid appointment with colors and finishes that are popular per your market during that time. And of course, they are mostly neutral and bright colors that are appealing to any type of buyer. So they'll have those color options so you and your seller can make that informed decision. Let's see. Do we get to see who the contractors are in case we have knowledge of the vendors? That's something I will inquire with my vendor team after this. I don't have the vendors' names off the top of my head, but that's something that I can send after the meeting to Michelle.
Thank you.
Of course.
What are the requirements of the vendors? Because I know a lot of our contractors are booked out. I mean, you couldn't get them for months if you're trying to, get some projects done.
Yeah, I don't know all of the requirements off the top of my head, but I know they must be licensed if that's a requirement specifically in the state and the county. We've seen each market be a little bit different as far as licensure requirements. And then there are specific insurance requirements that they'll discuss with our vendor team, including naming Keller offers on their insurance.
What about experience?
Experience, I'm not sure length of experience. I know my team does review the Better Business Bureau and past reviews, but I can double check if there's a threshold for experience timeline.
Okay.
Let's see, is there a second option on the vendor's bid? Not at this time. So as I mentioned before, so the process starts with the agent submitting a request to us at the Keller offers side. After we review that request, we are reviewing for scope of work, vendor availability, and market, and we're assigning a vendor accordingly based off of those items. So that vendor is going out to the property and bidding out that job itself, and our team is reviewing that bid before it even gets into your hands. So there's just that one bid, but please do let us know if you do have any concerns as you're reviewing the bids. So far, we've seen pricing to be very competitive. How do you ascertain the value for the 20% equity? So that is 20% equity in the home as is. And if you ever do need help kind of understanding equity in a specific home, you can always schedule one-on-one time with our director over valuation. His name is Anthony, and he has 20 plus years of actual license appraisal experience. So he's going to be a great resource for any of our certified agents that need a little bit more help. Let's see.
How do you ascertain the value of the 20% equity? Did you just answer that question?
Yes.
So can I speak a little bit more into that?
Sure.
So like when we go right now and do a market analysis, we have like a high, medium, and low. So I don't know if that person's asking, like, are you going off of the high, of that price point, or the low to get that 20%, or the medium? I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can go ahead and get more clarity from that director over valuation, and I can send that information to Michelle after this.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions for now? I see a couple of people are asking just for the recording, which I know you are recording this.
We do record this, you guys. 9 times out of 10, we always record our team meetings and put them on YouTube. We also put them in our private Facebook group. So make sure you are on our private Facebook group.
Perfect.
Jennifer, I asked a question about if the home is in an area that you do not cover at the moment, but there is a significant amount of equity, is there an option?
Not at this time. So the home must be within our zip code coverage because that is where we have vendor coverage.
Buy one, get one.
That in mind.
So basically, every day
However,
you're gonna
if
do
you
a,
make
if you
on
buy,
one of those neighboring counties and you have a GC that you're bringing through as an agent, there is a possibility that we could extend that coverage in that case, but must be currently covered by our vendors or bring a GC in that can cover those areas. I see a good question from Barbara. If we present this to our sellers, how do we know if there is an available vendor? So we have vendor availability. I can't talk today. Vendor availability as soon as today. So you can submit that, and we do have a vendor that can work on the project. No problem.
This has been very, very good. We appreciate you. So it looks like we have that class, so everybody has that link, right? I put the Mastermind link on our Facebook group already. So, a lot of you are asking some questions that will probably just lead into more questions, which is awesome, right? Good leaders ask great questions. So make sure you attend that Mastermind as well.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So what happens if worst case scenario, the market drops and the equity falls in that home during the process of all that? Is the seller, are they liable for all the costs that have been poured into the house?
Yes, so they would still be liable for the cost. As far as the credit worthiness option, that would follow them as a personal loan, and payments would start to be due on month 13. So just keep that in mind. And as far as the equity side of the program, a lien would be put on the property. It would not be removed until those costs are repaid.
And from beginning to end, it would take about 2 weeks to finish the project.
To get started on the projects, I would say as far as total timeline, it really depends on the scope of work. Sometimes if it's just paint and staging, it can be just a few days to get that done. But sometimes we see multi-part renovation projects that take a few weeks. So once again, it just depends on the scope of work there.
Thank you.
No problem. Awesome. Did we have any other questions for now? I definitely encourage all of you to attend the Mastermind on Thursday. That's agent led, so you can hear directly from one of our certified agents, and we'll definitely be there for any Q&A. That'll be a great session to listen to. You can get trained in the meantime as well as soon as today if you'd like to, but definitely that upcoming class is on the 4th in case you'd like that live class experience a little bit more. Let's see. It looks like Banna is asking if we have stagers. We do currently have stagers in your market ready to go, but we are looking for more as well. So if you have a great stager contact that you would like to bring in for consideration, please do submit them through us whenever you take your training. And I did not leave my contact information, but I will leave that right here. My email is pretty easy to remember. It's just jennifer@kelleroffers.com. Any general emails can come to me, or you can email them to our questions inbox. They'll get answered either way.
Thank you, Jennifer. It's a very interesting program for sure.
Of course.
Thank you.
Perfect. And I do want to address one question that I saw just come into the chat, and that is, do you know if competitors are also doing something like this? So I know specifically Compass Concierge does have a similar product, but it does look a little bit different. So just keep that in mind.
I can. Kill the fly. Kill the fly.
You guys,
sweater's
please
right
mute
there.
yourselves. Mute yourself. Mute yourself.
I've got my eye on it.
No worries. And I will say the Compass program has changed over time, and it does change per market as well. But a lot of their program, it has to do with just giving the seller applies for the monies, and they're just handed a credit card of sorts where they can then pay for the improvements they need to make. That can become an issue, because what's saying that seller doesn't go off to Hawaii and spend that money on the credit card. Also, through other competitors' programs, the agent and seller sometimes are left to find their own general contractors and their own vendors for these projects. Not only does that have more liability for you, it also has the additional component of you having to relay and vet all of these vendors. You have to organize them on your side. So it's a lot more hands-on in those competitors' programs from what we've seen as well. And something that we have that I haven't seen anywhere else is the component of 2 options for your sellers. So if they're credit worthy, you can use that option, or if they have equity in their home, that's another option for them.
Jennifer, can you tell what the Mastermind, what time that was again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. That is 12 Pacific, so noon Pacific on Thursday.
Thanks.
No problem. And I'll type that in the chat as well. July 22nd, noon. Perfect.
Okay, and okay, 12 o'clock, I put that on there. Okay, perfect. You know what, I really appreciate all of this. We may bring you back when we get a little bit further in this program, just so we could chat a little bit more. I think that would be a good idea. Crystal, you have another question here? If the sellers are given a certain amount to work with, are the vendors hyper-local to our area?
Yes, so our vendors are local to your area.
Great, great. All right, any other questions? All right, you guys. Jennifer, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. I know it's been crazy right now, so thank you.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'll definitely join you again whenever you'd like to have me. And please let me know how we can help you get started in this new Ready to Sell program. We're very excited to see you in our Mastermind on Thursday.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate
you.
Yay. Thank you.
Everyone.
All right, you guys, we're gonna just close this up, but I do want to let you know you did receive an email from our MCA department. It's from SurveyMonkey. I highly encourage you take a moment and answer these questions because we are here to serve you. We are here to better you and to push your ceiling a little bit further so you could reach all your goals and have a life by design, right? So I encourage you to take a moment and really think about this and not just put, I don't know, I love this person or whatever. Really, really think about it. Give us constructive answers so we can better serve you, so we can better serve our market centers, so we can help each other and learn together as a team. Okay?
What's it regarding? Our leadership or?
Excuse me?
What's it regarding?
Well, it's regarding what are we doing well? Where's there an opportunity to improve? And how can we serve you to better your business?
Okay.
You know, obviously, we do want to start doing things inside the market centers. That's the goal. And it seems like what we're getting is people want Zoom more. So we're trying to figure that out. And we are going to want to start doing things locally as activities, but we are planning a Giants game in September, and I'll be presenting that to the ALC in the next week or so at the meeting because I want to make sure I get their buy-in on the date and so forth, and the bus trip and so forth. So, you know, we have to remember, together everyone achieves more, you guys. It's not about me, it's about us as a family. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call or text me or email. Anybody have any questions? Okay, so Friday, remember the offices, the leadership is going to be out at the picnic enjoying ourselves. However, you know us, we do work remotely and we will do whatever it takes to answer the questions if something does come through. On Thursday, the senior leadership will be in a regional meeting and we will be answering emails and texts on breaks and lunches as well. Okay, so you guys, it's Monday. Make it a great day and enjoy yourself. Go get some more listings. Beat Fresno. All right, bye, you guys.